And live on the YouTube. It's setting up. It says we're live. Let's just see. Redirecting. Okay. Looks like we are up. I'm going to grab this link from the YouTube and paste it in the chat so we all have it. I will be monitoring the chat on YouTube and Facebook for comments. Pasting this copy from the chat, and I'm now sharing it on the LinkedIn and the Facebook page. But Ben, for all intents and purposes, we are live. So whenever
Okay,
you feel like it, you can take it away.
fantastic. We are live. Hello, good morning, and thank you for joining us. This is Virtual Coffee with Ben. My name is Ben Blackman. I'm the Director of Development with Ridge, RIDG, Royal Innovation Design Group. We are a group of innovation consultants based in St. Petersburg, Florida. And before we get started, I want to encourage everybody to go to our YouTube page and hit the subscribe button for great content. You can also go to our Facebook page, hit the like button there, share our content. This is a web series that focuses on how companies innovate, strategically plan for the future, and create a strong culture for their employees. Joining me today is the talent and training manager for Ridge. That is Geoff Nelson. As always, we have Jorn Appel, Director of Creativity and Innovation, with us as well. He's running the show. Good morning to you both. Hope you're doing well.
Morning.
Morning, Ben.
We're all still feeling the effects of the pandemic, unfortunately. Seems like it's never going to end. But everyone with a platform wants to know what that means. At Ridge, we have developed the 7 truths in the age of uncertainty. Sounds pretty heavy. The age of uncertainty. We got 7 truths for you. Geoff has been working with this pretty closely. He has edited and illustrated a 7 truths guide. This guide, the 7 truths in the age of uncertainty, is going to be available for a free download on our website on Monday. That is May 25th. You can go to ridge.com, RIDG.com, to find these guys. But we're going to give you a sneak preview right now. We're going to give you the 7 truths in the age of uncertainty. I wanted to discuss each one of these in detail with Geoff. So I'm going to run through each one, get his thoughts. Hope he can give us a little context on why these are so important right now for people that are kind of charting their own path forward and amidst this pandemic. So let's get started. We're going to go jump in right now. This is the 7 truths in the age of uncertainty. And the first one is you're overwhelmed with information without clear direction. Geoff, why is that so important right now?
Well, I think everybody can relate to that. We're getting input from all sides. We're getting it from the media. We're getting it from our families, from our bosses, from our clients. And it can feel like we don't know where to go. We don't know what to do. What stood out for me in this particular truth was the idea that we don't have a map, but we do have a rudder. In other words, we can make a head start in whatever direction we feel is right. And we just have to be very careful about checking our progress against our unfolding reality.
That's great. The second truth in the age of uncertainty. You need to experiment with new ideas in an unstable environment. We're always experimenting with new ideas at Ridge. What was it about that you thought was really important?
Well, the 2 most important aspects of the second truth are that innovators must learn how to design an effective experiment, and that we're all in experimentation mode because no one has been in this situation before. Michelle, in the dictation she did for this document, she said something like, we're building a new kind of boat in unknown waters with materials we've never seen before. So as in the first truth, you pick a direction, you make some progress, you reassess, and go from there.
I can say that is for certain. We are building a new boat. It's no longer fixing the hole in the boat. It's building a brand new boat. And that's kind of exciting, though. For those of you that are just now joining us and tuning in, this is Virtual Coffee with Ben. I'm Ben Blackman. I'm Director of Development with Ridge. We're joined today by Training and Talent Manager Geoff Nelson. We've got Jordan Oppelt running the show as well. He's Director of Creativity and Innovation. We're talking about the 7 truths in the age of uncertainty. This is a guide that we have developed. It's going to be available on our website, ridge.com, next Monday. We're going through each of the 7 truths right now, and we are at number 3. The third truth in the age of uncertainty: survival instincts have replaced creativity and constructive problem solving. Tell us a little bit about that one.
Well, the thing that I love about the third truth is it's so much more hopeful than it sounds. Survival mode isn't a bad thing if you can recognize it for what it is and be grateful for it and incorporate it into your strategy. We only get in trouble when we fight our nature.
Got it. The fourth truth, I don't know how true this is. Your virtual team is suffering from change fatigue. I don't know. We're doing great. We got a web series going. We look like we're handling change pretty well, but I guess others out there might be suffering from change fatigue. Tell us a little bit about that one. This is the fourth truth.
Well, I don't know about you, Ben. Change hurts. That is its nature. There's a reason there's called growing pains, right? And so we're changing at an abnormal rate, and everybody's a little beat up right now. The action to take is to over communicate. Our team, for example, used to have weekly check-ins, and now we have daily check-ins because that's about as far as we can reasonably look. So the way to kind of fight that change fatigue is to compress your timeline and over communicate.
That's great. I can tell you that we have definitely over communicated, and that's been really, really helpful just to make sure that everybody's on the same page. And we move to the fifth truth in the age of uncertainty. And I'm curious about this one as well. Your jobs have changed, but the tools have not. Now, we've talked about new tools that we've been using, like Mural. Obviously, people are using virtual platforms. Tell us a little bit about the nuance of that. Your jobs have changed, but the tools have not.
Well, the heart of this truth is that because a lot of businesses are shifting to virtual platforms and virtual delivery and virtual everything, there's a lot of white space. Opportunities are everywhere, but the opportunity doesn't come from doing the same things the same way over Zoom. It comes from seeing all the new jobs to be done and then hunting down the new ways to do that work.
Gotcha. All right. Well, again, if you're just joining us, we're with Geoff Nelson. He's the Training and Talent Manager at Ridge, and we're going through the 7 truths in the age of uncertainty. We are now at number 6. The 6th truth in the age of uncertainty is your playbook is now irrelevant. Why are playbooks now irrelevant?
Playbooks are irrelevant because everything changed in July or January, or I'm really bad at calendars.
Who knows?
What did they change? Like the other truths, the irrelevant playbook tells us that we have to compress our timeline and over communicate in order to make sense of the world in front of us. A strategy that was a slam dunk a few months ago is now just a futile gesture. And what is a slam dunk now is for all of us to discover.
Gotcha. And then finally, number 7, the 7th truth in the age of uncertainty. This too shall pass. Hopefully, we think so. This too shall pass, and innovation will prevail.
Yes, indeed. At Ridge, our mission is to build better innovators. We believe that innovation is turning failure into ideas that work. And to be an innovator, you have to be an optimist. Our CEO, Michelle Royal, likes to remind us that Fortune magazine was founded at the beginning of the Great Depression. There's a lot of real pain right now, but there's also a lot of real opportunity. And having the courage to face both facets of that reality is what will allow us to create a future in which we can all thrive.
I love it. Geoff, I wanted to ask you a little bit. We went through the 7 truths. Again, this guide that you have edited and illustrated is going to be available on our website starting next week. I hope everybody goes and checks it out. If you go to our website now, you can see the 7 truths listed, but Monday, you're going to get that full guide. Wanted to just talk to you a little bit about your creative process about illustrating this guide. How did you go about kind of turning these seven truths into visual stories as well?
Well, you always look for what's human in anything in order to create a compelling illustration. You want to create a sort of an emotional moment that a reader can connect to, that kind of helps consolidate or distill the emotional content of what they're reading. So, for instance, in the survival mode truth, where we're no longer creative problem solving, but we're in survival mode, the illustration is of Albert Einstein offering a light bulb to a caveman, and the caveman is kind of shaking his head and saying no, and he's pointing to his torch, saying, "This is what we're doing now, buddy." So that's a lot of it. Is just sort of trying to figure out what's the quickest way to tell the human story about the content.
That's great. I can't wait to see it. I've gotten a sneak preview. I can tell everyone who's listening, you're going to love this. Check it out on Monday. Before we go, I wanted to bring in Jordan real quick, get his thoughts on the seven truths. Jordan was part of the process of kind of putting this together. He's the brains, along with Michelle Royal, of course, and developing the seven truths. Wanted to get your thoughts on kind of how this came about and just generally your thoughts on the seven truths in this guide that we've put together.
Well, I think it came about out of necessity. I think we were all kind of sitting around and looking at each other and waiting for somebody to pipe up and say, what do we do? This was a couple months ago, and somebody needs to come up with a bright idea. What do we have to say as an organization in this time, in a time when people aren't necessarily having events that they want graphically recorded, or they're not bringing in consultants and facilitators right now because they're just scrambling, right? That time is returning. They realize they need a little hand-holding, a little help, and a little some tools from the outside. But 2 months ago, that was not the case, right? We were all sitting at the table saying, what do we do? And I think what happened was that we realized that Michelle has decades of experience in this industry, and that the smart play is to continually not only extract all of that experience and information from her brain, but just get her into storytelling mode. And that's always been what's worked really well for us, is just to get her on a camera or a live mic and just roll, just riff on something. And this just came up. It just came up as a thing. Well, we could talk about everything, all the truths that are, whatever, and it just kind of snowballed into this project. And yeah, now it's a 54-page illustrated, thing, the artifact that's going to be in the world. And I just wanted, for people who've kind of watched this whole episode and maybe thinking, oh, well, Geoff just told me everything that's in it, I don't need to download it. You know what I mean? Like, there really is a lot more in there. And Michelle's style and the way Geoff has edited the book together, it really is a valuable resource. And it's available now. Will be available Monday digitally. I think what we'll do in the future is have some physical copies available as well. But for now, and we'll give those to our clients and whoever kind of crosses our path. We'll have these things available. But for now, download this thing. It's only 54 pages. You can read it in, probably 30 minutes or less. And I just encourage everybody to roll through it, because even if you think you have all these tools in your toolbox already, there's going to be something in there that motivates you or encourages you to look at something a little bit differently. I know that, and I know I can speak for Geoff, as the guy who edited it. Just reading what Michelle said, you feel the kind of that wisdom and that expertise kind of coming off the page, and it really is valuable in this time. And she does have a very positive and motivating voice, and I think that that's also what's needed in this time, especially in this time when we're up against all the fear and the headlines and the news, and And again, just what the headline itself says, the age of uncertainty, right? We need a little bit of like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be, here's what we're dealing with, right? And it's all gonna be okay. And I think that's what the guide provides as well.
Mm-hmm. And you get Geoff's illustrations, which again, top
Which are killer.
notch. Come for
Amazing.
the illustrations, stay for the truths.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have for today. I want to thank you guys both for joining me. Great discussion. Again, Jordan Oppelt, Geoff Nelson. You can find the 7 truths in the age of uncertainty right now at ridge.com is the list of the 7 that we went through today. And if you check back on Monday, you'll get the full guide with the illustrations, with all of the further context about these truths. That's at ridge.com, ridg.com. You can also, again, subscribe to our YouTube channel for these videos and more content. Share the content. Go to Facebook, like the content, share the content, leave us some comments. Let us know what you want to see on some upcoming episodes. We're always happy to adjust and talk about whatever it is you guys are interested about. So we look forward to hearing all that. We will see you next Wednesday at 9 a.m. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Take care out there.
Bye. Thanks, Ben. Bye, everybody.